Knowing a little bit about Kenya really helps us understand and contextualize the diversity of smallholder farming systems in the country. Kenya is situated on the East African coast and is just over 580,000 square kilometers in size. Our land consists of a multitude of agroecological zones, ranging from humid coastal zones to humid alpine and including arid and semi-arid zones too. The country is divided into 47 administrative areas called counties and has a population of 52 million. Only 10.2% of Kenya's land is arable and capable of being used for agriculture, and most of the Kenyan rural population are engaged in agriculture in one way or another. Most of the arable land is cultivated by smallholder farmers following mixed crop and livestock systems best suited to their zones. Here's a snapshot of a few systems in 3 counties in 3 different agroecological zones. The first is a community farm in Garashi. The county is Kilifi and it is zoned as being semi-humid coastal. This farm is approximately 30 acres large and was being used to grow food for the community and a local school feeding program. The main staple being grown is maize, and the chucking of the maize was done manually by the women in the community. The only livestock in the system were beautiful free-range hardy poultry. The farm had a borehole operated by a diesel pump and had access to plenty of water when diesel was available. The production system here seemed to be to crop an area until it became non-productive, then move on to a new area by burning the vegetation, felling the trees, and cropping the same way. Land that was non-productive was left to fallow. The second farm is in an area called Nandi. This is humid highland area and suitable to dairy farming. Typical smallholder farms are family-owned and operated. The systems are mixed crop with livestock and a variety of livestock including poultry, cattle, pigs, goats and sheep, and a multitude of different crops and fruit trees. Some farms have ponds and produce fish too, and some have hives and thus produce honey. The third farm is in a semi-arid area called Makueni. The farms here are family operated and slightly larger than the previous example. Most farms are rain-fed and produce drought-tolerant grains. Some farmers have access to cross-bred hardy cows, and many have indigenous hardy poultry raised indoors, unlike the first farm where we saw them raised outdoors. In Makueni, farmers are using various production systems to regenerate and conserve soils and soil moisture. In this example, they are using zai pits, which are pits dug and filled with biodegradable materials and farmyard manure before planting. This is a very tedious method of farming, but one of the most productive in the area. The final example I have is what I would call landless or urban farming, where livestock are reared in urban environments. In the example here on the coast, we can see poultry being raised next to homes in small temporary units. In this case, mosquito nets are used to protect the young birds from prevailing raptors or other dangers. The goats and cows are left to meander freely along the road and within the urban setting. At night, these livestock return to their respective homes where they're tethered, fed, milked, watered, and provided shelter and safety for the night. As you can see, there are many forms of farming in Kenya, and most of those systems are managed by smallholder farmers.